Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. But today we're doing what, boys and girls? I'm glad you guys, because today we're taking a look at the all singing, all dancing, all new, renew, because this is the only exclusive to World Tanks console, the old coming new French heavy tank line, or super heavy tanks. Some of these are actually tanks during World War One. Yeah. Um, at least I believe a couple are actually designs that was meant for World War One instead of like that for the French. So this is going to be starting from like I believe it's like tier two, always way up to tier seven. So not a full tech tree. This like the American AA vehicles, but at least there's more in this line than there is the American AA. But still, really awesome to see these types of vehicles, especially like this one back here. But yeah, we're going to be going over checking these out and remind you too. These are their fully upgraded state, so whenever they come out in the game, I will be doing a full tech tree showcasing of all these vehicles in a less upgraded state. So do keep that as a mind, man. But like always with these types of videos, if you do want to check this out without my commentary, I'll leave a link down below so that way you guys can check this out. So let's get started. And the new upcoming new World War II Tech Tree Tanks French Super Heavies. So it's not really the Czech tanks as I thought, but we could be getting another line in the season still. Possibility because remember last season we did got two lines in last season, so there's a possibility we could be seeing a Cold War line. Possibility, maybe the World War II line, our World War II line, but if we're going off by what Wargaming is doing, possibly it could be a Cold War line, but then possibly it could be a World War II line. I don't really know myself, but yeah. Um, the battlefield is about to get a whole hot heavier. Starting on the November 14th. So this month right here, which for time this video comes out, so it'll be probably like tomorrow or something like that, or maybe on the day. You will be able to research the new super heavy line in the French tech tree. French super heavy tanks designs were bold, experimental, and built to dominate in head-on engagements. And now six of them are joining the fight in World War II mode. So that's pretty cool. With some of the largest hulls and thickest armor is their tiers. These super heavies are perfect for players who thrives on pushing the front line. Yeah, I mean sometimes it does pretty feel pretty good when you push the front line, but then how are these things going to interact with premium ammunition? That's probably the big catch there. So, of course, we got tier two, the FCM1A, tier three, FCM2C, tier four, FCM F4, tier five, AMX Tractor C 1039, tier 6 AMX Tractor C 1040, and tier 7 FCM F1. Sorry for that, boys and girls. My dog's in the background. I'm not sure if you guys are hearing them, but let's start with it. So we got the FCM 1A, tier 2 heavy tank. It's going to cost you 1,780 XP, and it's going to cost you about 4,000 creds. Not a lot of creds. Again, if you have any trouble with creds, go to Cold War. I mean, if you like Cold War. If you don't, then well, I have no clue what to say. Besides probably a tier 8 premium tank, which will gain a good amount of creds. So this thing looks very funky. It looks like it has some flat armor right here, somewhat of a sloping here. The gun don't look pretty good. This looks like it's definitely gonna be a weak spot. If you're coming over here, they're probably gonna see this thing right away. The rear, it looks like it's not gonna have no gun diversion in the rear. So if you could probably get into like the rear of this vehicle, more likely you're probably going to get away from the gun depression at tier two with this thing. So yeah, really just honestly there. And the armor, I mean, it's supposed to be a super heavy, so down here this tier, I guess it's not really the best armor of this tier. And like I said, yeah, that thing's gonna be definitely a weak spot right there, like really a weak spot. But only two pictures, sadly. But still, let's look at some of the stats of the vehicle. So because this is a tier two, it will play to tier three because tier twos do get like a preferential matchmaking, and also do because the wargame did reintroduce tier ones and twos. So yeah, there you go. You're gonna have this thing. Hit points is 410. Engine power is 260. Partial rate ratio is 6.10. Speed limit is 20 miles per hour. So not the fastest, even fully upgraded. We're just gonna wait and see how they are when they're stock. Reverse speed is 10. Oof, pretty slow in reverse. Ultra reverse speed is 24. Turn reverse speed is 24. Gun, which looks like we get a 47 millimeter mil 1902. Pen is 70. With your standard rounds, premium rounds 98, and HE is about 24. Damage is 55 for both your premium and standard rounds, and 70 for HE. Aim time is 2.1 seconds. Accuracy is 0.44. Gun depression is 10. Ooh, decent gun depression there. Sorry for that, boys and girls. Um, Gun elevation is 12. Rate of fire is 22.22. Reload time is 2.7. Damage per minute is 1,222. Max ammunition is 320. AP, APCR, HE. V range is 290. The signal range is 300. I mean, it's alright for a tier 2. I mean, the armor, it could be pretty questionable. But then this is tier 2, so I guess the armor can't be, should not be as strong as like a higher tier, tank. But pretty cool. Still, a very cool idea and concept of this type of vehicle because there some of these vehicles in this upcoming update I do recognize because they were actual prototype designs of the French during World War One. So these are just basically your World War One types of tanks, just heading more into the World War Two area where low tiers are kind of World War One ish. But still, let's go to the next one because this is the one I remember right here. I recall seeing pictures of it, and this thing is also in War Thunder, I think, too. So this is the FCM2C Tier 2 Heavy. It's going to cost you 1,715 XP or free XP, whatever way you would decide to do this. Silver cost 46,500, so not bad overall. And yeah, it's going to have this little thing on the top, which looks like it might be a weak spot. So keep that as a note. And the armor, it doesn't look like 100% perfect. But it does look like it will bounce some shows down here this year. Just if because you're at tier 3 now, you don't really necessarily get. Actually, wait, yes, you do. My bad. It's not until tier 4s where you see the 2+2 matchmaker. Tier 3 is still you see the -1 and uh -1 both ways of matchmaking. So yeah, pretty good there. Sure for that. My dogs are just being a little bit irritating right now, are they? But still, um, pretty nice. Heavy tank to see in the game of World Tanks console. So this thing will play up to tier 4. Like I said, a -1 minus. It's kind of hard to say that, isn't it? -1 plus another -1. I think. What do I know? What do I know? But still, it sees only tier 4, which normally because tier it would see 2 tiers higher than it, but because it gets that, -1 matchmaker, it only will see 1 tier higher. So yeah, hit points is 600, engine power is 500, partial rate ratio is 7.18, speed limit is 20 miles per hour, reverse speed is 15. So it looks like it still gets the 20 miles per speed limit forward, which that seems like it's pretty slow. Hull traverse speed is 20. Turn traverse speed is 24. Gun is 47 millimeter meal at 1902. Damage is 700 for your standard and 98 for premium and 24 for HE. 55 pin for both premium and standard rounds, and HE is about 70. Aim time is 2.1, AX3 0.42. Gun depression is 20 degrees. Gun elevation is 20. Rate of fire is 24 rounds per minute. Reload time is 2.5. Damage per minute is 1,320. And max ammunition is 245 rounds. You get AP, APCR, HE. V range is 320. And signal range is 360. So overall, not bad. I mean, they're not really going to stay down here at these tiers too long, but I would recommend, learning about these tiers before you start, 100% rushing to the higher tiers. Because, this will help you learn a little bit more better down here, especially with the plus minus one minus wait minus one times one, right? Yeah, that's how you go. Please correct me if I am wrong down below in the comments, but yeah, that's how you do it. Next tank is the FCMF4 Tier 4 Heavy Tank 5,710 XP with 185,000 credits. You're going to need to buy the vehicle if you want to buy it. And this thing looks like a freaky. Though it looks like the hull is very well angled. Though it looks like it's going to have a big old weak spot, burying a gun depression in the rear. This thing actually looks pretty familiar with I believe either a medium tank or a light tank. I think is already in the game, but I'm guessing this armor right here on this upper plate is probably going to be somewhat decent, maybe, hopefully. Especially now it's at tier 4 because now you get that well -1 plus 2. So yeah, that's going to be the downside about it. But it looks like the armor's pretty well angled, even this part. Yep, that's gonna be a weak spot. Turned well, I mean, this is a tier 4 vehicle after all, so it is going to see some tier 3s. But with the idea of seeing 2 tiers higher than it, um, yeah, it's gonna see those tier 5s and tier 6s. So and we know what kind of guns are at tier 6. 152s, 107s. Yeah, just large caliber guns. But let's look at some of the stats for the vehicle. So, of course, like I said, it plays up to wait, this plays up to tier 5? Am I wrong about that? What? Is there something going on here that I'm not really knowledgeable about? Because normally when you get to tier 4, you see 2 tiers higher than you. Normally we see a tier 6. Is wargaming changing something in this upcoming update as well with Matchmaker? Like, is it now going to be -1 plus 1? I really don't know. But it has 760 hit points. Energy power is 1,100. Power rate ratio is 16.89. Speed limit is 30. Ooh, it looks like it has a little bit more speed than before. Reverse speed is 10. Halt reverse speed is 22. Deterrent, which I'm not sure why it's calling deterrent. Okay, deterrent gun. Turret traverse speed is 26 degrees. Yellow limited 180 to 180. Gun is 75 millimeter APX 1897. Pen for your standard rounds is 62, with a premium rounds is 86, and also the HE38. Damage is 110 for both your standard and premium rounds, and for HE about 175. Aim time is 2.3, accuracy is 0.46, gun depression is 7, gun elevation is 15, rate of fire is 20.69 rounds per minute, reload time is 2.9, damage per minute is 2,276, max ammunition you can carry is 100 rounds, um, you get AP, heat, and HE, turn traverse speed. Turn traverse speed. Seen F4. I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess maybe it looks like we can use this gun and this gun. So it's gonna have two guns. So I guess if you're facing forward, you have this gun, and then you have this gun that can turn like a 360 direction. Turn traverse speed is 26 degrees. Yellow limited is 5 to 5. Gun is 47 mirror SA 35. Penetration for your standard round is 45. With premium rounds is 79. HE is 724 and damage is 55 for both standard rounds and premium rounds, and 70 for HE. Aim times 2.3 seconds. Accuracy is 0.47. Gun depression is 5. Gun elevation is 5. Rate of fire is 13.60 rounds per minute. 64 rounds per minute. Reload time is 4.4. Damage per minute is 750. So yeah, this is the smaller gun that's inside the hull. Max ammunition capability is 80 rounds. AP, APCR, HE, and view range is 330, and signal range is 710. So not really looking that bad for the tier 4. It looks like, yeah, we're definitely getting to use the gun that's built into the hull and on the turret too. So that's very nice, actually. But next is the MX Fractor C1139. This thing looks very interesting with its turret, like a weird looking shape. But it looks like it gets even more like a, you know, sloping on its hull. Of course, the Tier 5 heavy tank, 20,460 XP to unlock this vehicle, and 400,000 credits to buy it. So, yeah. And, yep, again, it has a real weak spot, plus it has one in the rear, which I don't think the gun's going to be able to depress pretty well in the rear. So, mm, but also, it looks like it also has like a boot kind of area. Like, this is the upper plate, then it has like maybe like a lower plate, and then this is like a mid plate. So that's gonna be pretty interesting because yeah, you see that looks like there's some like something there to protecting it a little bit, isn't there? But there's nothing here. Or I'm just seeing something over here, like this piece. Yeah, that's probably what I'm seeing with there. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay. So yeah, there is a lower plate, but then there's a mid plate, and then there's an upper plate, and then we have some space armor protection, which is the tracks. Special, well, extra track links for the vehicle. I mean that's pretty cool adding special track links to the vehicle, and yeah, that's gonna be a big spot. But at least it's not as big as the previous one. So maybe using full gun depression might be the good idea for this vehicle, but who knows? But we'll see about this vehicle. So this vehicle will play up to tier 7, and it is the tier 5. So tier 6, tier 7. Yep. There. So this vehicle will be getting the +2, and I think mine is. I have no clue because this one says it plays up to tier 5. Yeah, that must be like a mistypo right there because normally at tier 4 you would see tier 2 tiers higher, right? Yeah, tier 4, tier 5, and tier 6. So that must be like a typo. They must have miscorrected that, like mistyped that or something, because normally tier 4s are the vehicles that we will see 2 tiers higher, but only 1 tier lower. Where tier 3s will see 1 tier higher and 1 tier low. So it must be like a typo or something. But whatever. So this vehicle will play up to tier 7, and this is the tier 5 vehicle. We have hit points 850, engine power is 1100, power to weight ratio is 7.87, speed limit is 20, so we go back down to 20, 10 in reverse, ultra reverse speed is 16, trust, I'm probably not, I am not going to say that, I'm probably going to butcher so bad, C40, turn reverse speed is 18, y'all limited is 180 to 180. Gun is 90. Ooh, we get a 90 mil gun this time. It's a 1939 L42, 150 pen with its standard rounds and 228 with premium and 45 with HE. Damage is 400 for both standard and premium rounds and 320 for HE. Aim time is 2.5. Accuracy is 0.42. Gun depression is 5. Gun elevation is 12. Rate of fire is 6.32 rounds per minute. Reload time is 9.5. Damage per minute is 1,517. Max ammunition is 40 rounds. Um, we get AP, APCR, and the G. And then we get a AMX Triple C Emilia 1939. It's a 47 mil gun. Turn for sure speed is 24. Y'all limited is 25 to 320. Maybe it's this. So it looks like we're gonna be getting a rear mounted gun. Because that's the only other gun I could see on it. Besides this little machine gun thing right here, but yeah. Um Pen for standard rounds is 45, for premium 79, for HE is 24, damage is 55 for both standard and premium, and 700 for HE. Aim time is 2.3, accuracy is 0.47, gun depression is 9, gun elevation is 5, rate of fire is 14.63 rounds per minute, reload time is 4.1, damage per minute is 805. So yeah, it must be that rear gun. Turn. Max ammunition is 121, AP, APCR, AG. View range is 320 and signal range is 710. So doesn't seem that bad. So it looks like we're going to be getting from Yeah, from right here at tier 4, not tier 5. Always way up to tier 7 with the multiple gun system turret, which is pretty cool idea for World Tanks console. So yeah. Next is the AMX Tractor C Mila 40, tier 6, heavy, 56,600 XP. You're going to need to unlock this vehicle and 925,000 credits to buy the vehicle. So it looks like we might be getting the two turrets again, which looks like we got the big gun and the smaller one, which looks like it's the same, somewhat same body style as the previous vehicle, just kind of upgraded a little bit more and stuff. But yeah, look at that. I mean, big old weak spot there. Looks like that's gonna be pretty well protected in somewhat way for small gun. So yeah, it looks like we got a mid plate, press the low plate, press the upper plate with track links protecting it. Yeah. Oops, my bad. My bad, my bad. But still looks pretty nice. Looks like it has a nice big old gun as well on that one. A very small gun for this one too, but yeah, that's gonna be a weak spot right there, definitely right there. This looks like the roof is going to be somewhat a questionable. Though, how is it going to be? Because from the front, this gun turret right here is going to block this gun from using full gun depression in the front. So I think maybe able to play this vehicle, you're going to have to either go sideways to use some gun depression because you're going over a hill. They're going to see more likely, yeah, this little turn, but you might not be able to get this gun down enough to, hit the enemy tank. But still, pretty nice idea. I like these ideas, these upcoming new tanks. So because this vehicle is a tier 6, it will see up to tier 8. Remind you, only tier 7 is the maximum for these vehicles, but still doesn't matter. Hit points is 1050, engine power is 1100, power weight ratio is 10.89, speed limit is 25, reverse speed is 10. So we get a little bit more better, but not much more. Um, Hard reverse speed is 20. Turn ARL 7. Turn traverse speed is 18. Yum yum yo limited. 180 to 180. 90 mil gun. So this is the big gun turret right there. Okay. Penetration for your standard rounds is 212, with premium is 259, HE is 45. Damage is 240 for both standard and premium rounds, and 320 with HE. Aim time is 2.7, accuracy is 0.40, gun depression is 9, gun elevation is 11, rate of fire is 6.52, reload time is 9.2, damage per minute is 1,565, max ammunition is 60 rounds, AP, APCR, HE. And our second current, the AMX Tractor C Mil 1940, which is a smart gun. Turn traverse speed is 24. Y'all limited is 163 to 160. And we, of course, get a 47 mil gun. So this is the smaller gun, of course, we expect as a small turret. Penetration with your standard rounds is 45 and 79 for premium and 24 for HE. Damage is 55 for both standard and premium rounds and 700 for HE. Aim time is 2.1 seconds. Accuracy is 0.47. Gun depression is 9. Gun elevation is 5. Rate of fire is 16.22 rounds per minute. And reload time is 3.7. Damage per minute is 892. Max ammunition capability is 121 rounds. We get AP, APCR, HE. Um, View range is 350 and signal range is 710. So not overall bad though. That 9 degrees of gun depression on this rear mounted turret, I think that's probably like going to be on the sides of the hull, like over on the sides, maybe the rear, but not in the front. There's no way of a gain 9 degrees of gun depression in the front. This, yeah, maybe it looks like it can, but this one, no. There's no way with a turret in the front like that. No. Possibility less than that. Maybe like 5, maybe lower than that, maybe 4, something like that. But over the sides, yeah, it's not in the front. No, there's no way of gaining that much gun depression in the front with this gun turret sitting here too. And this gun turret don't look like it's going to be small either. So I guess time's going to tell when these vehicles do come out. So yeah. But last but not least is the FCM F1 Tier 7 Heavy Tank, 136.5 590,000 XP, and it's going to cost you 1,395,000 credits to buy this vehicle. And again, it looks like it gets the same kind of play style with the multiple turret system, which looks like we get a little bit of like a boxy one with a little bit more bigger gun. Then we get another boxy one with a big old weak spot on top of it, with probably less gun depression again over the front. So don't believe it's going to have 9 on the front. If it says 9, it's probably meaning over the sides or maybe the rear. But yeah, and again, it looks like it's getting some good sloping here. So gonna see how this vehicle looks like. So it looks like we got some good armor on the front turn, even though it's gonna be somewhat, I don't know, it looks like it's somewhat sloped here. Not by much, but yeah. Then the rear one looks like it's definitely flat with the big old weak spot on the top of it too. So yeah, because this thing is gonna be at tier 7, you are gonna be see probably 2 tiers higher than you are. So let's go ahead and check. So this thing will be bringing up to tier 9. So okay, yep. Like I said, tier 7 will be seeing tier 9s to plus 2 matchmaker. So yeah, hit points is 1,490. Power engine power is 1,100. Quarter weight ratio is 7.86. Speed limit is 24 miles per hour. Reverse speed is 12, so it gets 24. Um, Hull traverse speed is 18. The FCM F1 turret. The turret speed is 22 degrees. Yaw limited is 180 to 180, which is a 90 mil gun. Yeah, so this is the big gun. So it only gets 90 mil. Wow. Okay. Penetration is 212 with your standard, and premium 259 with your premium, and then HE gets about 45. Damage is for 240 for both premium and standard rounds, and 320 with HE. Aim time is 2.7. Accuracy is 0.40. Gun depression is 9. Gun elevation is 11. Rate of fire is 6.52 rounds per minute. Reload time is 9.2. Damage per minute is 1,565. Max ammunition is 60 rounds. We get AP, APCR, HE, and then our second turret, which is the turret traverse speed, is 24. Yellow limited is 163 to 160. We get a 47 mil gun. Penetration for your standard rounds is 66 with premium, 98. HE is 24. Damage is 55 for both premium and standard rounds, and 70 for HE. Aim time is 2.1. Accuracy is 0.38. Gun depression is 9. Gun elevation is 5. Rate of fire is 17.14. Reload time is 3.5. Damage per minute is 943. Max ammunition is 124 rounds. We get AP, APCR, HE. The beam range is 650 and signal range is 710. So yeah, that's it. That's all these vehicles. Honestly, I've really, I want to be really honest with you guys. I've been enjoying each of the upcoming new tech trees. We're getting new tech trees, and let's just say this much: we've actually got more exclusive stuff than PC. Um, if you just want to include just World War II stuff, none of the Cold War stuff, to be honest, we do. We got in the Storm Tigger line, which is exclusive to console. Um, it starts from, I believe it's like tier 4 and goes always way up to tier 10. So up to the Storm Tiger itself. There's also getting the boom bar in there as well, and a few other, you know, derby type of tank destroyers. But again, it's a German tank destroyer line, which is exclusive to console only. And then we got, yes, it's only 3 vehicles, but it's the American AA vehicles, which again is exclusive to console again. And then now we're getting these new French heavies, which, yeah, these things did exist in some way in form of a blueprint and stuff, or prototypes and paper and all of that. Like, well, majority of tanks do in world tanks, but these were World War One. At least I know this one did exist in somewhat form. The others, those two, that one, not we're sure, but this one, I have seen it in somewhat form. Because for one, is in Battlefield as well. So yeah, and I think also War Thunder might have this vehicle too. They even have a derpy version of it. The first one, I've never really seen it, so yeah, I've only seen this one, and this one. So those are the only two I've really, completely know about more than the other previous vehicles in this tech tree. But honestly, I'm just excited to see more types of things that have come to World War II. Though, honestly, I thought it was going to be at least the Czech light tanks. Though, possibly we still could see those in the next update. Because, well, maybe we could be seeing another line. Because last season we seen two lines enter the game. I forgot the first one. What was it? Oh my gosh, I think it was a Cold War line. Um, yeah, it was the Cold War T-64 line that entered the game. Sorry for that, guys. About my dog in the background, squeaking a toy. But we did see the T-64 line as a Cold War line, and then we got the American AA line as a World War II. So possibility we could be seeing another two more lines. I could be wrong. Please miscorrect me if I am wrong about any of this. And trust me, I don't have no information about any of this, what's going to happen. But by looking of how last season ended up, this one is going to be a similar, and boys and girls. But yeah, I think this one's gonna be similar. With a World War II line starting it out. Um, with this French heavy tank line coming to the game and stuff like that, as being the first part of it, and we could be seeing later on maybe a Cold War line. Now, I could be wrong. It could be another World War II line. It could be the Czech light tanks, but honestly, I don't care. At least we're getting more tanks for both Cold War and World War II, and that's all what really matters, doesn't it? I do think that's what really matters here and stuff like that. But honestly, I wonder what you guys think about these upcoming new tanks. Are you going to enjoy them? Are you going to try to play up to tier 7 and see how they work out? Or are you thinking, well, there's going to be some juicy targets to hit with your guns and gain some XP out of these big old targets? And somewhat slow too. They're not going to be very fast. So do keep that as a note. But honestly, I know I'm excited to see something new. And honestly, I'm actually pretty excited to see these things in World Tanks console. Exclusive to console they are, but honestly, I don't care. They're gonna be, they look like they're gonna be all right tanks in my opinion. Not too, broken in a lot of ways, but maybe hopefully not too underwhelming either. Um, you know, not too weak as well. But we just gotta have to wait and see how these things are going to be like, and also keep an eye out. I will be doing a full tech tree review of these when they do come out. But yeah, that's gonna be for this one, there, guys. Hope you guys really did enjoy it. If you guys did, you know what to do. Slam that thumbs up button and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys want to. And like always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.